to this week's Geekly Talks Comics, another special episode, one of our one-shots, this time with my guest, Mr. Terry Gay.
How do you do?
From Negative Zone Comics here in Newport. So, we'll start off our show. How are you doing, Terry?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself, Gary?
Ah, not too
Yeah,
bad.
well done.
Right, so you've seen Jeff's one-shot, I'm sure you had a laugh at that one.
He saw a bit of it, yes.
Yeah.
He's not too bad for an amateur.
Oh, see, this is why I'm glad we got a pro one. Right, so we'll start off, Terry. As you know, the questions initially are just questions about comic books and what you think. So first one is, who is your favourite comic book protagonist?
Well, someone I'd like right from the very beginning, Reed Richards.
Okay.
You know, the mad scientist type thing,
Yeah.
typical. The way he was drawn by Kirby, everyone was a scientist, had a white coat and a pipe, puffing away on a
Really?
pipe. So that was something that was like unique because you didn't see many people smoking in comics
Yeah.
at that time. So that's, and I like the sci-fi thing about it.
Yeah. I never realised it was a Kirby thing, though you always drew them with a coat.
Oh yes, most of the you know, all the monster takes from Story Suspense, all of those comics would have a mad scientist and they always smoked a pipe, very learned, puffing away there.
Ah, okay. Alright then, second to that, who's your favourite comic book villain?
Well, it's another boring link, I think, with the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom.
No, it's a very good show.
I've always enjoyed the fact that he's a foreigner, he comes from
Yeah.
a foreign country, Latveria, and it reminds me of the old Universal Monsters series, because
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of the history of monsters and things in there,
Yeah.
and witches, and part of Doctor Doom's character is the fact that his mother was dragged off one night and she was burnt as a witch. And that's why he went into the supernatural and did all the witchcraft stuff
Yeah.
with his machinery.
His parents, I'd forgotten about that. That was how he got into it, was because his mother. I remember I was reading, I can't remember who it was Joe Quesada or who said it, but he said the thing about Doctor Doom is that if he ruled the world would probably be a better place. Even though his idea of doing
because
it.
people love him.
Yeah.
Although he's supposed to be a big tyrant, the people still love him and would walk over coals for him if he asked them to.
Well, that's it, yeah. He basically just says, like, even though he's meant to be the villain, but when you look at his worldview, the world's probably a better place.
He's still a benevolent ruler, even though he can be cruel. He still treats his people kindly because he's got a love for them because they're his people.
Yeah. Yeah, fair play. Right. Something I note again. Who's your favourite comic book couple?
I'd say Ben Grimm and Alicia.
Oh, okay.
Ben Grimm and Alicia was my favourite couple.
I'm going to go with that. I thought you were going to say Reed and Sue.
Because, no, well, there might have been a second one.
Okay.
It's just the fact that that was human life and it mirrors human life. Although he's a big ugly monster,
Yeah.
Alicia loves him because of what he is inside. She doesn't care about the appearance. Although she's blind,
Yeah.
she can still tell what he looks like because she felt him and made models of him and everything.
Yeah.
And she's in love with the man that's underneath the rubble, as it were.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I've gone for them.
Right, okay. Now, favourite comic book partnership?
I think Mr. Miracle and Big Bad.
I like
Got
that.
this big Amazon, it's like a reversal probably of what I just said, the thing.
No,
And Alicia, because she's a big massive Amazon,
Yeah.
and he's a super escape artist, but he really hasn't got any sort of powers, but she's the main one in the relationship, as it were.
Yeah.
She's the strong one.
Yeah, to start reversing the roles, she's the big strong character, he's the smaller one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, I always loved that with Miracle Man and Big Bird. I thought that was pretty cool. Like when you see her character and the fact that she falls for him, a human, and as you say, he's like the master escape artist.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Certainly noticed a trend here, Terry. All the master,
It's
Jack the King
It's the
Kirby.
Kirby thing there, it's just the man who we've got to thank for all this, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll say. I'll save it later on. Get
I
into a
just
bit
said
about
we're
Stanley.
going through the interview, aren't we?
No, I'm going to save the whole thing with Jack and the real,
that's right,
the real force behind all this, and Stan Lee. No, I'll save that for later. Right. Next question, my last. Your favourite superhero team?
Have a guess, everybody. Fantastic
Four.
Four, obviously.
Nice.
Combination of everything Jack had done before he went to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Thing is Your Monster, which he did in innumerable comics before.
Yeah.
You got the Mad Scientist with Reed.
Yeah.
Then there's the romance thing with Reed, Sue and the Submariner.
Yeah.
Jackie and Joe Simon did a lot of romance comics. And then you've got your Human Torch, which they've used from the character from the 40s.
Yeah.
And I think they all work together, and the interaction between the Thing and the Torch, and Johnny being a teenager and all
Yeah.
cocky, and Ben being all serious. It was obviously, Ben was a foil for Johnny's pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said they argued, they were human, unlike the DC characters. Nobody rowed, Superman didn't have a row with Batman or anyone else. And the stories were a bit twee, I thought, at the time.
Yeah.
But this was a bit of realism came in, that's why I went for the Marvel.
Yeah. No, it makes
Because
sense.
you could relate to it.
That's like the thing for me always as well. Fantastic Four, they feel like a family. It's like for all the slating it gets.
Yeah, that's why the first family.
Yeah. For all the slating it gets, the first movie they did. I love the bit where Ben, before he turns into the Thing, and he's walking along, and all he hears, "Attention, soldier," and he stands to attention, and Johnny walks up, and he said, "Camera, $200. What was it? Camera, $200. Phone, $50. Getting one over on your superior commander, priceless."
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Because when you say the first film, you don't mean the Roger Corman film.
No, I don't mean the Roger Corman.
Which people
No.
haven't seen because, you know,
Have you
it
ever
hasn't
seen?
been released. I've
Have you seen
the
it?
film, yeah. I have. And it's very good. You know, it was made on, I think, a $7 million budget,
Yeah.
and you had to make it within, I think it was a month or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Like, it was a Corman film. It was done cheaply and it was done quickly.
But that's where they got Roger Corman onto it, because he was renowned for making films very quickly and at a low budget. And I think, I'm not sure if Sony Pictures had the rights to do it, and the rights were running out, and if obviously if they hadn't made a film within a certain time frame,
Yeah.
somebody else could have taken it up, so that's where they got Roger Corman to
Right.
do it. And it was a very good representation of it. We spent $4.5 million on the torch effects,
Yeah.
and you know, obviously the Invisible Girl was a bit easy because just things floating about. Reed Richards was holding prosthetic arms like this, waving and what have you.
Yeah.
But the Thing I thought was excellent. I think he was better
Yeah.
than the Thing
That they
in
used
the
in
first film as used
the
to.
first, because I forgot about the Corman. Because
Yeah,
for me, it's always been one of those holy grail films. I've never seen it. I've
yeah.
only ever seen
It
clips
is-
of it and heard it talked about.
There's a fabulous scene where the Thing is mirrored in FF51 where he leaves because they have a big row. He goes out in the streets, pouring rain. He got a big coat on
Yeah.
and a fedora. He pulls it down so people can't see. You know, in fact, he's 6'2" and 17 foot wide. You know, nobody notices. But he walks out and he goes down this alley and all these bums are in the alley,
Yeah.
all sat around the fire drinking their meths and what have you. And they see him coming up towards them and they call him over to sit down with them to have a warm by the fire. And I thought, well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That encapsulates what the Thing's about. Although he's intimidating to look at, people can tell his inner goodness, and
Yeah.
I just loved it. I thought that was the best part of the film. Really
To
good.
be honest, I wish
If
they
anyone
had.
out there can get hold of a copy, have a look at it. It's excellent.
There you go. Official recommendation from Terry. But to be honest, it's something I would have loved to see them, because obviously they're doing Fantastic Four again now.
Yeah.
A scene like that, I would love to see, just because you say, because it's such a simple but powerful thing.
Yeah. I think Michael Chiklis did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
You know, and the makeup was good as well, because obviously it's mirroring the earlier rendition of the Thing,
Yeah.
where he was a muddy type creature from one of those Tales of Astonished books.
Yeah.
Because obviously he changed as he was metamorphosizing back and forth
Yeah.
from Ben Grimm to the Thing over the years. Kirby, you know, stylized him more into this brick monster
Oh, right, okay.
than what he did from the... He just a normal one of those mutt monsters he had
Yeah.
before that.
So continuing on, so the last one was favourite superhero team. Favourite supervillain team? What do you like?
So many to choose from again. Suicide Squad, an excellent team.
Yeah, good shout.
Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. What a fabulous character. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Throw Boomerang? Great. You're talking an Australian accent. Big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if there wasn't enough of a stereotype. It's just
that's-
like, oh, by the way,
yeah,
he's
we
Australian.
put an Oz in there.
Yeah.
And then obviously I got to go for Kirby again, Frightful Four. There's a couple of lame people in there, the Wizard and
Who's the
Ace
Frightful
Hot
Four?
Pete and Sandman and Medusa. First
I know.
first appearance of Medusa
Right.
with a skull cap and a big massive ponytail.
Yeah.
And I think he put them together because it was a bit of a weird team.
Yeah.
But I think if I was going to pick the favourite one, although it's not Kirby, it would have to be the Sinister Six
Yeah.
in Spider-Man.
Again, a very
Some
good
great
shout.
characters in there. I loved the Sandman, I thought he was a great character.
Yeah.
Probably the best part of the last film, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
definitely Sandman was the best one. Wasn't used properly, but
Yeah.
He was the highlight of the show.
The problem was we both know because they forced Venom. I think if they hadn't have forced Venom
Venom
on
was
him,
beaten far too easily.
yeah,
You know, he was just a minor character to introduce all this major threat, and
yeah,
he just beats him like that. At the end of the film is like a postscript sort of thing.
yeah. It
So-
was just rushed. Where Sandman, there was clearly a story. They had a whole
So,
arm
yeah,
firm and
yeah.
they
Oh, they
things
changed the
along.
origin with,
Yeah,
you know, it's not the burglar shooting Uncle Ben, but
yeah,
you know, I did like that. And he was in Spider-Man Annual #1, which was
Right.
something which, because over here in Britain at the time, we could get the normal newsstand comics, but
Yeah.
the specials, annuals and things, they were just so hard to get hold of.
right.
It'd be so frustrating to look in books and see Junior the Mystery Annual and FF annuals, and you couldn't get them.
Why were they so hard to get over here then?
I think it was just very limited distribution.
Oh, right,
There's only
okay.
certain shops. I know there was somebody who come brand who said their news agent had become branded them. But
Yeah.
that's the only one I know of.
The next one, Terry, right? Now, obviously, you'll have more of an insight on this than a lot of us. Your favourite publisher, like for you personally, who's your favourite publisher? Like DC, Marvel.
We're talking time frames now, aren't we? Again, see.
Well, yeah.
'Cause
As a fan and as a we'll say like for you as a comic book fan and a reader, well, who's your favourite publisher? And then as a dealer, a vendor, who's your favourite publisher?
As a reader, it would have been 60s Marvel,
Yeah.
possibly 70s Marvel as well.
Okay.
There were a few odd titles in the 80s, but I found once I was dealing with, I could see the comics
Yeah.
that were coming out every month. I did lean more towards the DC stuff. I was getting more
Yeah.
of the horror type of Vertigo stuff. Sandman and Swamp Thing, I was really into that, the Alan Moore version.
Yeah.
But as I said, I picked all the Batman stuff up.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed DC more, I think, in the 80s than I did
Yeah.
Marvel.
So the 60s and 70s was all the Marvel stories, and then
Yeah.
the 80s when they started getting a lot more
Yeah,
serious.
80s to 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a dealer now, you know, I can see more, because there are probably 5 or 6 times as many comics on the shelf now with all the
Yeah.
different publishers coming out, all the indies. And I think the indies are the ones that's on the cutting edge, because they're
Yeah.
the ones who are taking chances.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing the other stuff which, because of the comics code,
Yeah.
Marvel and DC wouldn't touch. And I think they're putting out better stuff, and a wider variety of stuff as well. It's not just all superhero.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your film noir stuff, your gangsters, your hardball detectives, and that sort of thing, and sci-fi stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And I think they are doing, as like, quality stuff, they're doing better than Marvel and DC.
Yeah. I've already done this at the very start, but if you don't mind, sir, favourite period of
You've got to
comics?
guess this one again, it was the 60s obviously. It's the
Yeah.
60s, it's the founding fathers, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was just where they all came from. All the characters today, the modern depictions of them today.
Yeah.
You know, they were all the sort of the bedrock of the Marvel universe was done in the 60s.
Yeah.
And I think that was like Sergeant Pepper, they just can't improve it. They can change it and try and modernise it,
Yeah.
but I think everything that they laid down then, you could relate to the characters, as I said, you know, they were human characters. You know, Spider-Man was beaten by Dr. Octopus because he had a virus.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was the flu, wasn't it?
It was some specific thing that affected spiders, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he went out and got defeated by Doc Ock. And there's that famous, this number 11, where Spidey's having the mask pulled off him
Yeah.
on the cover, and people don't believe it's Peter Parker,
Yeah.
because they think, oh, he's just gone out as Spider-Man to try and beat Dr. Octopus to be big. Not that he was ill, and that's why he couldn't beat him.
Yeah. I remember in the cartoon, the 90s cartoon, there was an episode where he goes up against the Sinister Six, I think it was to save Aunt May, and he had a wild bad dose of the flu, and Doc Octopus pulls the mask off. He says, this
was a one,
yeah, this is Peter Parker, this can't be Spider-Man.
And
And they're like, yeah, are you sure? Are you sure? You know, and he says, no, that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a warrior, and he says about how he moves. He said, this is Peter Parker's just a boy. He can't be Spider-Man. You
Peter
know,
Parker, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Peter just spends the line, no pun intended, of, oh yeah, I'm just standing for Spider-Man. You know, he's off doing something else. I think he just roped me into this. And that was how he got out of it, as you say. No one would believe that Peter Parker was ever Spider-Man. Okay. Well, Terry, that's the end of it for the show. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you, Gary.
No.
Thank you, director and producer.
Anything. Wonderful job they did too. I just want to say they
I'm
had to
sorry,
set
I
up.
complete ash in this.
On
There
their
you go.
They might cut all this out, but they did a brilliant
Yeah,
job.
they
wasn't
can
it?
cut all the blah.
Yeah.
That's just me, Terry. That's not even you. Thank you very much again, sir. It's honestly been an absolute pleasure. And listen, thank you everyone for watching. This has been Geekly Talks Comics One Shot with Terry and me, your host, Gary Driscoll, Archer and Blogs in the forum. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.